Let's talk about how to stay spiritually grounded when the world goes nuts. Hey guys, it's John sitting here in the studio having a fabulous day, beautiful day outside, water in hand, water in gullet. Politics, fear, chaos. Here's how to stay rooted in love when everything else is shaking. We're living in wild times. But that does not mean you have to lose your peace. You know, the world is a series of events, stimulus. It's how we react to the stimulus that defines our world, defines our experience. We can live in action or we can live in reaction. We can be an action hero, not a reaction zero. In this moment, you can literally say, I am unaffected by the stimulus of the world. Jesuits would say, turn the other cheek. When the stimulus comes, don't react out of offense or defense because both of those are fear reactions. Exhale, let it go by, just like in meditation. You exhale when the negative comes in, the stimulus that doesn't feel good. You exhale, you let it go by, and you stay in your inner peace. Each one of us is in the eye of our own hurricane. We sometimes can't see past the whirling storm around us. But the way you calm that storm is to calm the eye. Be calm in the center. Let it dissipate the storm around you. It doesn't mean you have to lose your peace. It means you have to become the peace. Step into the power. Become anchors of the calm. The world's not going crazy. The world's only waking up. It's starting to realize that we can be more loving. We can be more caring. And it's very obviously showing itself. The people who are getting loud and doing horrible, horrific things to other people, they're doing so out of fear. Because as Socrates said, when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. Global chaos is a symptom of transformation. There's always a big eruption when things start to change. Systems of fear, control, and separation are cracking. That's why they're rebelling. They're screaming, hollering, yelling, trying to tell you that you have to do what we say. But the more they do that, the more people say, no, that's not right. And the more the people will not stand for it. You know, staying grounded by seeing the bigger spiritual shift. My son and all of his classmates are beautiful. They're not racist. They're not homophobic. They're not gender biased. They are just truly living, loving, and caring. And they don't see the issues. That's because they are the big shift that's happening in the world. Old people like me, you know, we remember the past, so we have all that. The younger people don't remember the past. They don't remember the bar fights that I was in. They don't remember the horrific actions taken by people who are homophobic and racist, and they don't remember those things because they're in the past. Fear is what hijacks your spiritual core, and fear is a choice. You can choose to be fearful or not. Remember, the Buddha said the secret to enlightenment is the eradication of fear. Our children are not fearful. They're not worried about, you know, sitting under a desk to prepare for the nuclear war like we did when I was in school, right? We didn't have the strict delineations of the good side and the bad side of town now that we had before. I mean, those areas that were the bad side of town are slowly getting changed. Houses are being fixed up. People are starting to have a different idea. People are starting to have a different concept. You know, yes, we still have some bad areas of town. Absolutely. Why do we have bad areas of town? Because of poverty. So we help people make money. We change that world. We change that experience. My son doesn't see, like I said, race or gender or any of that stuff, but he walks up to everybody and talks to everybody like they're just beautiful people. I recently talked about on 4th of July, we went and we watched fireworks, and where we were parked, pieces of the fireworks were falling right where we were parked. And my son thought that was the coolest thing. And I turned around and he was gone. Why? Because he thought to himself, if I was a little kid, this would be one of the coolest things in the world, this little piece of a firework. So he picked up several pieces and he went and he found families with kids and he gave them to them. When you were 22, were you doing things like that? That is our future. That is the kids that are coming up right now. The future is beautifully changing right now, but it's a matter of the rest of us who've had those past experiences. understand and recognize the good that is happening.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com.
Don't let the people who are manipulating fear change your experience. Don't let the news, the politics, and even religion, they thrive on fear. So don't let them control you. When you buy into fear, you disconnect from love because fear is the illusion of love's absence. Keep love present. Keep love here in the now. And fear can't exist. Perfect love drives out fear. It's right in the Bible. You can't be reactive and conscious at the same time. If you're reactive, that means you're reacting to stimulus coming in, where instead of acting in love, stay in the present moment. I am that I am. Well, I am peace and love and compassion. I am that I am. If I choose to be peace, love, and compassion, then in the present moment, which is the only moment you have, the first thing you're going to realize when you go to that place of being peace, love, is that you're going to breathe. You're going to exhale. Because the fear was making you hold the air. Reconnect with that beautiful nature that's naturally there. Speak with clarity and love to everyone around you. Choose presence over panic. Someone comes up, they're afraid. You go, are you okay? Show them compassion. Are you okay? What's going on? Hear their fear, their anxiety. Alleviate their fear and anxiety by showing them a way out. Every morning I get up, I sit in love. Right now, people would call it meditation, but I just sit down and I exhale. I come back to just feeling that beautiful space that's always there, that's always within us. I just feel that, and I be that moment, and I kind of look at that as my rebooting for the day. This day is going to be this feeling, and I don't watch news. I watch movies that make me laugh. I don't like horrors. I don't watch horror movies. Why? I don't like the concept of being afraid. I actively am kind to people. I hold doors. I help people carry things. I do whatever I can. People come and deliver packages to my house. I tell them they have a beautiful car. They get so excited. Well, thank you. And they get into a conversation, right? Take inspired action from love, not reaction to fear. Stay in the now fully and realize that when you are fully in the now, you're not afraid because fear is based in the past or the future. Either the experience of the past have shown you that this is something you need to be afraid of, and the fear of the future, which you're afraid something negative is going to happen. Well, rather than creating something negative, stay positive. Stay in the now and create something beautiful. You can't stop the storm of other people's fears, but you can be the eye of it, the calm that calms their storm. Be the peace you wish that the world had. Be the change you want to see in the world. That's what Gandhi said. That's the real revolution. That's the real change that we create in the world. Hurricanes are revolving. And guess what? The real revolution is to calm yourself so that revolution slows down and becomes peaceful and loving and caring. You have the ability, but it's a matter of you being fully present, fully fearless, and actively helping others alleviate their fear. When you do that, the world is ours. The world is love, and the world becomes the world we've always wanted. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.